Okay, cool. Well, I think we'll probably have a few more people trickle in until we get to 9:10, but we can go around and start with the introductions. Why you guys decided to take Ignite and this class specifically, and then also how long you've been in real estate. Okay, so I'll go first. My name is Nick. I'm going to be your instructor for today. I've taught 3 Ignite classes in the past. This is my second time doing social media. I'm taking the class because I was asked to teach on it. I do a lot of posting on social media, a lot of natural engagement. And yeah, I've been doing Ignite as well, some of the sessions, just to see what the other people in the office are doing and what ahas I can use in my own business to help me grow as an agent. Warren, you want to go ahead and start us off?
So this is Sarah. I just start with I'm new, few months. So I found that I like to post stuff in social media for real estate, like advertisement. But I don't know exactly the way how to do it right. And sometimes I feel weird about my posts also. So I try this class. I hope to have a more confident and a way to how to do it like correctly.
We'll definitely be covering all of that. Which office did you join?
I'm at Santa Clara Valley.
Okay, welcome to KW. It's going to be in this class. We're going to go over all the basics of best practices, and then some of the things that we can do to sort of get over that hurdle for the fear for posting. We'll cover as well.
Yeah. So like, which post should I post it on social media? Like, what to get more engagement?
Exactly. We're going to go over all of that, and we're going to do best practices, and then we're going to go and sort of do at the end of it, we're going to do a bit of a mastermind to really dive into what you guys are actively doing right now and how we can help push you guys forward with using social media in your business.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Warren, are you ready?
Yep. This is Warren, and been in real estate.
I think we lost you there, Warren. We'll circle back. Let's just keep going down. Let me see here. There, Warren? Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it on our end or?
Good.
You're fine.
Okay, perfect. So Warren, we're going to go ahead and skip over you for a bit just because I think you're having some connectivity issues. Let's go and Lena, do you mind sharing with us as well?
Yeah, my name is Lena. I'm not quite yet fully real estate agent. I work with the Timothy Chow group, and yeah, I'm here to learn whatever tip and trick that you guys have for social media posts, because I do have some fear about posting, especially when it comes to video too. I haven't started any video or like anything, but but finding the content to post is kind of one of the things that I think I need to work on. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Let's go down. I think, do we have Coco?
Hi, good morning, Nick, and everyone on the line. I don't know what the question is, but I'm assuming it's a little bit of a self-intro. Exactly. What we want to get out of it.
Or what you hope to get from the class, what experience you have with posting on social media, and what experience you have in real estate as well.
Okay, sure. So I come at this a little bit differently. My background is in corporate strategy and luxury brand management. So I actually manage a lot of the programs for social and direct marketing. Let's see, maybe it's better. My family's been in real estate in this area for over 20 years. I've been behind the scenes, but only recently just got my license just to kind of start to kind of scale up. So I'm really looking at seeing what has been working well in specifically the real estate, individual agent, residential kind of vertical space, and just getting to meet other agents. I'm out of the Cupertino office.
Awesome. Welcome to real estate. It sounds like you're going to absolutely kill it with your background. Okay, let's see. I think we'll do maybe 2 more and then we're going to get started. First, I'm going to talk about what I think the importance for social media is going to be with real estate in the next 5 years. And then we're going to just jump into the Ignite materials. So if anybody else wants to do a self intro, feel free to go ahead and just jump on the mic. And if not, we're going to get started. Okay. Perfect. I think 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's going to be it for the self intros, guys. We're going to go ahead, and the way this Ignite class is going to work is we're going to talk a little bit about social media and the future of real estate. And then we're going to go into the specifics for the Ignite material. And then after that, we're going to have sort of an open forum where we're going to brainstorm together best practices that you can actually walk away with today and how to implement them into your business. So real estate's changing, right? We all know that technology and real estate haven't always been hand to hand. But as the industry, especially here in Silicon Valley, gets faster and we get more tools, it's more important than ever for us to stay in contact with our sphere of influence or our database. And the best way that I've found to do that is going to be through social media. So have you guys read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book? I'll assume that a few of you have read it. Correct?
Yeah, I read some, but unfortunately, I don't feel anything yet. But people say they're a very good book. Maybe I should read it until the end.
You should definitely read it until the end. The Keller Williams company was built off of systems and models, right? Basically, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, they interviewed millionaire real estate agents, and they found that there were specific activities that they did, no matter which market they were in, that led to success. Now, one of the most important things that they talk about in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book is something called a touch. That's where you're contacting somebody in your sphere of influence. Those are going to be like family, friends, and coworkers. And you're reminding them that you're in real estate, or you're just reaching out to see how they're doing, right? Now, when they first wrote the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, they had this whole thing with the 32 touch 8x8 programs. And I'm sure we've covered some of those in Ignite already with how to stay in touch with your database and how to stay in touch with new contacts. But the thing is, this book was written before social media was really big, right? So if you do 32 touches in a year, that could be like a letter, a phone call, a client event. You're staying top of mind each time when you do those 32 touches, right? But with social media, you have the ability to stay top of mind and to capture that mind share every single day. And that's really the power of social media for real estate. Because if somebody's just doing things the traditional way of writing a letter here, or doing a client event, or doing a phone call every quarter, they come and they go, right? It's like, oh yeah, Nick's in real estate. That was a great client event. And then they're gone. I don't think of them until the next touch. Now, if I'm following somebody and I'm constantly engaging with them online, which is the normal for social media, all of a sudden, I'm not just this real estate agent who calls them once a quarter. I'm somebody who they're invested with and that they're tracking to see both my life and their life. And the real power of social media is when you're creating these posts, you can be contacting your whole sphere of influence for free, right? Because most of the marketing that we have, whether it's postcards, even phone numbers, when you're calling the numbers, you got to spend like a whole bunch of time to actually go through that list and call everybody. With social media, you can do one post and you can reach thousands of people just like that by hitting post. So I truly believe that in the next 5 years, 10 years, social media is going to be one of the only ways that real estate agents like us are going to be able to compete with the big brands like Zillow and Redfin. Right? We don't have the same billion-dollar backing from the VCs that we can spend on advertising, but we can stay in touch with our sphere of influence through posting. And that's what today's class on social media is going to be mostly about. It's not going to be on how to, grow engagement community or something like that, or how to become a famous influencer on social media. There's more courses on those on the internet than there are on how to be a successful real estate agent. Instead, what we're going to cover is how you can use social media to actually get business with your sphere of influence and stay top of mind, so it becomes a lot more likely that you get repeat business and referral business. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and jump into the Ignite material. Can you guys all see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. So Ignite, capture leads with social media. And this is going to be part of your lead generation activities. And from the other Ignite classes, you know that, guess what, guys? We don't just sell houses. We are in the lead generation business. So the most important thing that you can do any day, every day, is to generate new leads to help your business grow. And we're going to go into how you can do that effectively, cost effectively, and with the most reach on social media. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the 10-5-1 engagement system, because on social media, you're getting blasted every day from multiple creators, multiple brands, all trying to capture your attention as you're scrolling through your feed, right? And if you're just posting something and forgetting about it, then your audience isn't going to be engaged with you as an individual. They're just going to see you as another post on their feed. They see it for 0.3 seconds and then poof, you're gone. They forget about you. So we need to figure out a system that you can engage with them while they're online. So it's not just a post that they see, but it's a meaningful interaction online that they feel that connection. Okay. Now, with all of this social media, and this is something that we talked about before with some of you who were trying to get over that hurdle of how do I post a video, how do I post a picture and feel comfortable? It's going to take time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery, right? This is straight from the MREA from Gary Keller. That's a direct quote. And the reason why I like this quote is because with social media, it's progress, not perfection. Oftentimes we're creating pieces of content that we want to post, whether it's just a picture of your family at dinner or whether it's a video explaining the market, and you're sitting there hovering over that post button and you don't press post because you're like, man, this isn't perfect here. The lighting's off here. This is a weird angle. I don't know what to say. And you end up not doing anything, right? It's analysis paralysis. You're like, oh, this could be a little bit better. Maybe I could put it with this hashtag. The goal of today's class is to get over that fear and to start doing something. And as you post more and more often, you're going to learn your best practices. You're going to learn what engages your audience. And that's what we're really going for here, how we can implement it into your business so you're going to be making money, not watching a course about somebody else making money on social media. Because trust me, there's thousands of dollar courses out there that you'll spend and you'll waste your money on how to be a real estate influencer, and all it is posting, guys. So let's see. The 10-5-1 engagement strategy. This is basically going over how powerful social media can be because it's free, like I mentioned earlier, and how we can use just our phones to stay connected with our spheres. If they ever do a Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book 2, they're definitely going to be putting this in here. So let's talk about the 10 and the 10-5-1. 10 is you need to like 10 posts a day from your sphere, right? Or people that you want to talk to. Now, the reason why it's important that you're not just creating content and that you're liking your sphere's content is the way that Facebook works is it doesn't just show everybody's post. Okay, so when you go on a site like Facebook or Instagram, they don't just show the most recent post from anybody that you follow. They used to do that, and then they switched up the algorithm. Now they only want to show you relevant content. And for them, relevant content is content from friends and families who are always either commenting or engaging with you on social media. So it's our job with our sphere of influence to become one of their top engaging people. So when we put a post online, we automatically go into their timeline. Does that make sense? I'm gonna assume it makes sense. So let me break it down one more time, just in case there's any confusion about it. The default on Facebook is all of your Facebook friends, even if you have, 1,000 friends or 500 friends or whatever number of friends you have on Facebook, they're not all going to see your posts. If you post something on Facebook today, only a small percentage are going to see it. And that small percentage are going to be the people who actually engage with your post. Now, the reason for this is Facebook, their job is to keep everybody on their platform. The longer that somebody stays on the Facebook platform, the more money they can make by selling Facebook advertising. That's their business strategy. So if you are on Facebook and you have 500 friends, but you're not really interested in those 500 friends, and you're seeing posts from all of those 500 friends, you're going to leave the platform. So it's in Facebook's best interest to keep you on the platform by showing you relevant data. Now, Facebook doesn't know who your best friend is. They only know the analytics from posts and comments and engagement. So it's our job as agents for everybody in our sphere of influence that we're following to go and engage with them. So when we make a post, they automatically see it. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's very good point.
Awesome. So 10 likes a day. You want to do 10 likes a day because you don't want to be flagged as a spam account, but you need to make sure that you're going through your sphere of influence and you're liking 10 posts, not 10 from the same person, obviously, but 10 posts in your sphere every single day. This is like making calls to your sphere of influence because one, they're going to see you liking their post and they're like, oh man, Nick just liked my post. I haven't talked to him since college. That's pretty cool, right? It's going to make them think of you because they get the notification. And two, if you keep doing this consistently, you're going to show up in their feed. Now, next is going to be 5 comments. And comments are going to be more impactful with the algorithm than just a like, because obviously you have to go there and you have to think about the post and you have to write an engaging comment. Now, the real mastery comes with what you say in the comments, right? And choosing which post you're going to comment on. For example, let's say that you saw that your friend just got married. Oh, hold on, that's a life event. They might need a house, right? Don't be a salesperson and just write on the post, oh, congratulations, you need to move, but go ahead and choose which post you're reacting to for your 5 comments a day to make sure that you can maybe start a conversation about real estate. Or it's always nice to just put a comment if it's something very personal or very big in their life. You want to make sure that they know that you care, because clients don't care about you or what you can do for them until they know how much you care, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I imagine everyone said correct right there. Now, the last one is 1 post a day. And this is all you're going to be doing for creating your actual social media awareness. You need to do 1 post a day. It could be a picture, it could be a video, but for the algorithm to understand that you are active on the platform, you have to do that 1 post a day. Any questions so far?
I don't know. 1 post a day, it sets out too much to me.
And we'll talk a little bit about strategy for how to get that 1 post done. But let me ask you this. At the beginning, we talked about social media being part of lead generation, correct?
Yes.
And we know that successful real estate agents, every day they're doing lead generation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had the choice between doing 2 hours of phone calls, 2 hours of door knocking, or doing 1 post on social media, which would you choose?
Of course, 1 post, right? Save a lot of money.
Exactly. So when you start thinking of social media, not just as something that you're doing that's additional to your business, but if you really want to take social media to the next level where it becomes your business and you're very purposeful with how you're using the platform, all of a sudden it doesn't seem so bad with posting once a day. Yes, it's work coming up with the ideas, making sure that it's the right type of content and engaging on social media. But there are top producers at Family Reunion where I was there. I went to the panels to listen to them, and all they do for lead generation is social media. They don't do cold calls. They don't do open houses. It is just social media. Now they're doing multiple posts a day because they're spending that full 2 hours just doing content online. It's not for everybody, but you can build a business just with social media. Any ahas?
Yeah, I have one aha like you say today. I should recognize that you say if you like 10 posts per day or 5 comment. What I learned from new is like it's gonna show when you post it, it's gonna show on their new feed.
Exactly.
Which I'm not thinking of.
Exactly, because the goal that we're trying to do with the social media is we need to be top of mind, right? In order for that to work, we have to show up so they can actually see what we're producing. And that's going to be the best way as well to gain a following too. Like if you're liking 10 posts in a space that you want to get into, in a group that you want to get into, people are going to start recognizing you and you can start growing a following through there as well. But it's really to stay top of mind and top of algorithm. Any other ahas? I'll take one more before we move on. Warren, I'm going to call you out, man, if you can, if your mic's working.
Sure, no problem.
Any ahas from the last section? I think we're still losing you, Warren. We'll circle back for the next section for ahas, but I really want you guys to focus on the 10-5-1 model, especially for residential real estate, because most real estate business, the best way to get clients is going to be through repeat business or referral business. It's the most cost effective, right? So if you already have your sphere of influence online, you want to make sure that we're contacting them through there. It looks like I have something that just popped up in the chat. No worries, Warren. Internet, sometimes it goes down, right? So let's keep moving on. Posting practice. I think this is referring to the best practices that we can do when we're doing social media posts. And here it is. Here's the formula: 80% personal and only 20% business. Now, the reason why we want to keep it to only 20% business is, remember, these are going to be our sphere of influence, right? Our friends, family, coworkers, maybe past clients. If we're constantly pushing advertising and pushing listings and pushing, market updates at them, they're going to feel like we're a spam account that doesn't really have a life or value as far as a connection or a friend, that we're just trying to market to them constantly, right? That's not what we're trying to do with social media when we're contacting our sphere. We're trying to build that connection with them, that parasocial connection, by letting them see what's going on in our actual world. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because we don't want it to be 100% personal either, because we want them to know that we're in real estate, right? No such thing as a secret real estate agent. But we want to make sure they're at healthy balance, so they stay engaged with us as individuals and they're actually interested with what's going on in our life, rather than seeing us as, another corporate brand trying to get them to buy something. And this ratio of 80-20 is very popular everywhere in Keller Williams. It's the Pareto principle of 20% of your posts, are going to give you 80% of the results that you want, right? It's 80-20% appears everywhere. It's going to appear for how you should do the posting for social media as well. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the ideas for what you can post about with the personal, right? Pets, art, cooking, exercise or working out, adventures, live music, team sports. This is giving us the ability to sort of show behind the mask on social media, right? We want them to be engaged with us as an individual, because people do business with people that they like. So what are some ideas that you guys have about what a good personal post could be? I'm gonna open it up to the floor again. Anybody? Looks like we have one in the
Hi,
chat.
this is Hilda.
Hey, Hilda.
Great job so far. I know you're going to bring a lot of value as it continues. I think one of my favorite things to chat about online, and it's just me, is current events. There was a big weekend where we had this bank collapse, and it could have an incredible impact on our market, and nobody was talking about it. That was a big disappointment for me because I think in the financial services arena, we should have been the voice of reason, or at least the voice of communication during the weekend. But don't worry, there's going to be, I think, months of this ahead as the Department of Justice opened up a big investigation yesterday. But I think current events are something really important to speak about. And it doesn't have to be just financial related. One thing that I like to do, if there's a current event in San Jose, say somebody's going to the SAP Center to see a concert. What I do is I post and give people ideas for the secret parking areas that I know in the area that only a local would know. So I give them advice on which parking structures have the best price or the best light if you're walking alone. Those kind of things. You can get extremely creative, but whatever you post, you should come from value.
100%. So what I like what Hilda just said there is current events. This is what's known as, it's called social hacking, right? If somebody's already looking up information about something like the SVB collapse, and anybody who's been on a showing lately or, talking to clients lately, that's popping up in almost every conversation that we're having. So knowing what's going on with current events as a real estate expert is always going to be extremely important, because if your clients have concerns about it, you need to be able to talk them through it, right? And if you're coming from a place of value by sharing links that they might find interesting, they're going to see you as a more powerful resource, right? Like, oh man, Hilda's on top of it. I know I saw Hilda was posting about the Signature Bank as well, and I was reading the article that she was posting on social media. So you always want to be top of mind, and if you can come from value, that's going to be, even better. Now, with personal posts as well, you want to make sure that you're also sort of lifting that veil for what's going on in your actual life. So for me, I do a real estate vlog a lot of times, and I'll film what's going on in both the business side and my personal life, so I can show people sort of what it really takes to be a real estate agent. And sometimes I glitz it up a little bit, I make it a little bit fun, but I send that out in my newsletter every single month. And people watch the vlog more than they watch the market updates, because they want to stay connected with me and see what's going on with me. And since I'm always working, it's kind of hard to stay, in contact with a lot of friends a lot of times. But through posting that, they feel like they're still getting to see me. They're still getting that connection. And they're like, oh man, I saw you were down in for family reunion and you went to Universal Studios. Like, that was a big one. Everybody was commenting on it and posting on it for me. And one of my clients actually reached out to me after they saw that. And they mentioned that they'd been down in Disneyland around the same time. And now we're going to go ahead and start looking for one of their referrals for a house in Fremont. So things like that, it brings in business. Another thing is, like I was talking about before, we don't want to be just a real estate agent, right? You want to be indispensable and irreplaceable for your sphere of influence and for your contacts. And the way that we do that is by becoming more personal, right? So there's thousands of agents in Santa Clara County. The thing that sets you apart is going to be you as an individual. And I'm sure they talked about this in the value proposition section as well, but really humanizing yourself as an individual with your clients and with your sphere is going to help you grow your business because all of a sudden it's not, oh man, there's this real estate agent advertising over here, there's this agent advertising over here. It's more, this is Nick, he's growing his business, I want to help him out. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
totally.
Let's go ahead and talk about what you can post as far as the business side and the things that get the best responses when you're posting on the business side. And one of them is going to be listings, right? People like working with people who are active and who have listings and who are doing great in business, because it helps sure up their decision that they're making the right choice. So if you have a listing, go ahead and start bragging about it with everybody on social media, on all channels, because you also never know who's going to be a buyer or who knows somebody who's moving to the area. So listings are great. And this is great for doing actual ads as well, not just for organic posts, but we're going to focus more on organic posts today. Another one is open houses, right? Again, they like seeing that you're working, and open houses, you can show off the house, you can do a video of the house, you can do a picture of it, and you can also invite them to stop by to talk, right? And we always want to get those face-to-faces when we can. Social media is great to stay top of mind, but it's no substitute for this face-to-face or face-to-Zoom as we're doing today. Another one, awards, right? Again, they want to work with the best agent. If you're getting awards, you better tell people that you're getting awards, because they're not going to go and look it up. They don't really care when they see it on the email profile, but if they see you getting an acceptance speech or something like that, that's pretty powerful, because you know who else gets awards? Celebrities, right? Did anybody watch the Oscars? Well, if you watch the Oscars, you probably saw clips on TikTok. As soon as the Oscars were giving out the awards this year, they had the shorts ready to go to blast on all the streams for like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, because that's where people are right now. And those acceptance speeches do really well on social media. People like seeing achievement because they feel like they're winning as well when they see you win. Another one is going to be speaking events. Again, it's that same thing with seeing you as an authority. And when you start talking about something and you have to articulate it and share that information with a large group of people, they're going to see you more as an authority. And then instantly, when you're going on like a listing appointment with them, or when you're sitting down and having that consultation, they're not going to be thinking, is he qualified or not? Because they see you as that authority. So when you post about it and they see that you're doing that, it's always good. Any questions about the real estate related business posts? Okay, then we will keep moving on. One that they didn't put on here that I think is pretty important, especially in our area where we have so many engineers, is you need to post something about the stats, and you need to post something about the market and what's going on with the speed of the market and the health of the market. Now, here at our office, we do a listing club every single Monday where we go over the inventory. And I can tell you, engineers absolutely love that stuff, right? They want to be able to see the numbers before they make a decision. So if you're providing that to them, you don't have to spend as much time combating the national news, which doesn't really affect us here in Silicon Valley, right? Because the Bay Area is very different than Boise, Idaho. Looks like we have a hand up.
Hi, Nick, it's Hilda. I wanted to suggest also that if you're looking for something real estate related that isn't, attached to a particular listing and can go a long, long way, is to talk about house hacks. And by that, I mean giving people tips on, how to save energy, how to enhance their curb appeal so that their property always holds its value. How to save money. Everybody's going to be, everybody loves to save money and make money. So if you can show them how to save a little and also how to preserve the value of their home, you'll also be looked at as, an advisor type or somebody who's always, again, coming from contribution and providing value.
Absolutely right. And something that Hilda just said with the hacks, the word hacks. Now, if you spend time on the newer social medias like the YouTube Shorts, Reels, and TikTok, we're just going to call it TikTok from now on. If you spend time on TikTok, hacks do really, really well, especially with millennials who always think there's a better way to do something that they're not getting told by the traditional, knowledge or know-how or the traditional way of doing things. It's how we were brought up because we have so much technology in front of us. And some of those hacks are a little bit, maybe it's 80% there and it doesn't give you the result that you want, but they always do really well as far as engagement and as far as people sharing it, right? So that's a really great way to grow as well and to be seen as a authority in a space, right? So the house hacks, like, for mortgages right now we have a new Cal HFA program coming out that's going to be like a 20% shared equity. I was just helping another agent. We did a video on that and he got 100 calls from one post, right? Why? Because people want that secret information out there. And if you can give it to them and you make sure that you have a strong capture method for the social media, then you're going to get a return on your investment and your time. Let's keep moving on. 10% community service. And this sort of ties into what we were talking about with the current events as well, because you want to be active in your community, and community service is going to be more like charitable things too. So we have Red Day coming up. I definitely recommend that everybody schedule for Red Day and then document what you're doing for Red Day. And the reason for this is, one, it's going to be great for when you're posting on social media. People like when you care about the community that you're servicing. And in Silicon Valley, the price of the homes is so high, guys, that we really should try to give back as much as we could and help the community out. And then two, it's going to be something that's there that you can use for different things like the branding for your personal website. I mean, as individual agents, I think a great place that we can always sort of look at for inspiration is KW as a whole. And KW as a whole, they have, the KW cares and all of that stuff. So why aren't we doing that as an individual agent, right? We see how successful KW is as a whole. Let's go ahead and just copy and paste it on a smaller scale to help grow our business and our reputation as well. Any ahas from that last section? And you guys can go ahead and put them in the chat as well if you don't have the mic access, but I would like a little bit more engagement today. I know that it's early. I haven't had my coffee yet either, but I want you guys to get the most out of it. And I find that with the Ignite sessions, when we start working out the ideas as a group, we're going to get the most value. So I can't make you guys go ahead and, do the ahas or do the group engagement, but I can tell you from experience from the times that I've taken Ignite, when you start articulating what you're learning and you start hearing it out loud, it's going to stick with you and you're going to put it in your business. If not, a lot of times you watch the, the Ignite or the class, and then the next day you might not think about it, right? So I really want you guys to be 100% engaged today and really focus in, because this is, like I said in the beginning, the future of real estate. So I'm going to give one more minute.
I have a question actually. You talk about the like I was thinking in my mind, like, can an agent live stream about like there's something going on like about loan right now? You have the program for like Dream for All, like, and what is the other one, like to help with down pay? Like, can we talk about that, because we're not a loan officer?
Yeah, so I'm not going to give any legal advice. I'd say go ahead and talk to your broker on the specifics for that. But I think as long as you disclose that you're not a loan officer and that you can direct them to more resources if they want to learn more, you can go ahead and sort of if you're not giving advice on how to get the mortgages, or this is what's going on with mortgage rates, so this is financial advice. If you're just saying, hey guys, look, this is a cool new program, this is the URL for it, this is what it says on the website, that's very different than saying, hey, I can get you pre-qualified for this loan program, rates are right here, right? Like, you have to sort of cover yourself when you're posting something on social media, which is true, especially if you don't have the license. You shouldn't advertise the business for it. But as a real estate agent, if you know that this program exists, it's just like if you're talking to a client, right? If a client was in a situation where the program might work for them, you can say, hey, I heard about this program. I don't know if it would work for you, but I know a lender who does it. Let's see if it would, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Any other ahas? Or are we going to keep moving on?
Nick, I'll share something just as a tip for the people who are on the call. You know, there's some people who do social media very well at a very high level, and some that have, and most of them grew from doing, you know, very random posts in the beginning, like everybody else, until they found the platform and the feature application that helps them communicate with their sphere of influence. I would take a look at Timothy Chow and what he's doing, and maybe you can share with them, Nick, a little bit about his weekly shows and how predictable they are and how consistent he is and how well recognized he is for sharing information.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lena would probably be a little bit more qualified to talk about Timothy's operations internally.
Yeah,
but
Lena can share as well.
Yes. Hi. So as for Timothy, he have so he when it comes to social media, we want to put out when it comes to business, we want to separate it. So that's why Timothy, when you look at him, he have one page for Timothy Trout Group is where we only put business stuff up there. When we have listing, when we sold something, when we help a client find a house, we post on the Timothy Trout Group page. And then when it comes to Timothy posting, he posted from his personal seeing. When he posts about something, he would like to consider it, put himself into the yesterday he posted something about home buying power. He really sit down and calculate all that monthly payment for people so they can have a clearly picture of what they walking into. And Timothy he does post and one of the thing that as a group that we doing is when we post something, we always put our logo up there to make, and then when we post, when we do a post, we make sure that it's somewhat similar in a design thing, so people recognize us as a whole. So it you don't do one design this week and then another whole design next week. You want to keep it similar and synchronized, so people oh, when they see that logo, they know that it's you. Because people nowadays, I tend to do that myself too. When I scroll through Facebook, I look at the picture first, and if I recognize that, then I go ahead and engage in that post. So that's what I am trying, and that's what we are as a group trying to do. When we post something, we try to put you have a listing. The next listing is probably different, but you put your logo, your name, your information up there, put it somewhat similar so people recognize you.
So I think what Lena just said that the group is doing, if I understand this correctly, is one, when we're posting about the business side of things, it's really important to understand that this is going to be brand identity. And when you're building a brand, to have it be recognizable and to be dependable is going to be one of the reasons why people love brands, right? If Coca-Cola switched their logo every other week, you would switch to Pepsi because you want to feel that familiarity with the brand. So you always want to have sort of a set template that you're using when you're posting your marketing material, when you're posting your updates or your listings, because you want it to be recognizable by your audience. The second thing that Hilda was mentioning about their weekly video is if you start doing a post at a specific time for a specific type of content, your audience is going to start to expect that at that time every single week, right? It's just like when we watch TV shows before we had, the streaming marathons and the binge watching, we would get ready every week for our favorite TV show to come on at 5:30, and we'd be there to watch it. Now, your audience has that same type of tendency for your content if you're providing that value content. So you want to make sure that you don't disappoint them by posting consistently so they can understand when you post, how you post, and get used to it and fall into the routine of continuously watching your content. We're going to keep going on right now to talk about some of these social media strategies. And one is going to be connect with people or who you've met in one way, shape, or form. So this is going to be more about like the sphere of influence, or if you met somebody, you know, what I try to do for this one is if you meet somebody and you take a business card, right? Or you give them your business card, they might put you in the phone, they might throw it away. But if you connect with them on social media, Instagram is the new business card. Because when you follow somebody and they follow you back, all of a sudden you're seeing their post, they're seeing your post, and you're starting to connect with them in a much more real and meaningful way than if you just have a card that you're handing them, right? A second one is post about your neighborhood. Oftentimes with social media, and I see this time and time again with new agents, they try to post too broad, right? So they say, oh, you know what? I'm a Bay Area real estate agent. Anything in the Bay Area I can help you out with. And it's good to be able to help out in, you know, the full Bay Area. But what you're doing there is you're not providing any specific value to somebody who's moving to a specific location. So this is the same thing with farming, right? If you become an expert in one area, and it can even be where you're currently living, and you're posting content about that area, you're going to start attracting people who are interested in more specific and less broad communication. And that's how you're really going to connect with them on social media instead of just being something that they scroll past, right? Because there's a million posts out there in hashtag Bay Area real estate, right? Nobody's really focusing in on the specifics for this specific neighborhood, or a hashtag, you know, was it Irvington, Fremont, best places to eat over here. That's where you can dominate a small niche and then expand from there as your brand grows. The next one is going to be use images, right? Long, lengthy text on social media, nobody has time to read it. Remember, we're trying to stop people from scrolling. So we have like 0.3 seconds for them to decide, yes, I'm going to engage with this, or no, I'm going to go to the next piece of content. If you have something with bright colors, psychologically, we're going to stop for a second to identify it. If they look down and they see a whole bunch of text, they're going to think, man, that's too much work for me to do right now to actually read through all of this. Let me keep scrolling to something else that's going to give me that instant hit of dopamine with visuals, either through video or through pictures. Another one is congratulate new homeowners. Now, this one is really big, especially if you're part of a larger, like, let's say, community group on Facebook or even in other social medias as well. If you're posting your successes and how you're helping people, it's going to be like a magnet where people are going to come to you to figure out how you did that and if you can do the same for them. Now, again, we have post about listings. That's pretty self-explanatory. You want to market your listing, and then also it shows that you're more of an authority when you're posting your listings. And then the last one is engage. And that goes back to the 10, 5, 1. And then also when you post something and then you start engaging about your post with the comments below, the algorithm is going to push your content out to more individuals because they see you as somebody who is there to stay and that you aren't just posting it and then moving on to something else, right? Because remember, they want to keep you on their platform as well. It's not just the people who are looking at the posts, they also want to keep the creators on the platform for longer too. So this next section, we're going to talk about highlighting your business. And what we want to do is you want to think about hypothetical information, how you can utilize tech developments, and how you can post client testimonials to build your brand and to make you seem like, sometimes you can even on social media, you can make yourself seem stronger than you are with how good your branding is, right? Because again, remember, we're stepping into this field of social media. So there can be top producing agents who don't do anything on social media, and their branding looks very different every single time they post. And somebody on social media might look at that and they're like, man, I'm seeing a lot of posts from them, but they look like they're all over the place. Versus an agent who might be a mid-level agent who is very clear with their brand identity and what they're choosing to use to highlight their business. When a potential consumer is looking at those posts, they're like, man, this must be a huge brand because their marketing is so on point, right? On social media, they're not tracking how many listings you've sold. They're just seeing what you're highlighting for them and what you're curating for them. And that's how they're going to make the decision whether to work with you or not, by how strong a presence you're showing. Any questions on that? It looks like I have something in the chat as well. There's no, okay, so something about the loan. New program. Okay, we're gonna keep moving on to the next one. Don't post and ghost. Now, post and ghost is when you post something and you leave the platform right away. And oftentimes, especially if you're getting started with social media, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with actually clicking the post button. Now, when that anxiety hits, you want to post it on one, go to the next platform, post, and then you put it in your pocket. You're like, I hope I get a lot of engagement. I hope I get a lot of likes. I really want this to work. And then you just go about your day, and then you might open it and check the engagement. You're waiting to see if you get what you're looking for, if you go viral. Now, that is not the best method to grow. Like I said before, when you post, especially Instagram, they want you to stay on the platform for at least 15 minutes after every post, and they want you to engage with the content. First, on your post, if you start getting comments, they want you to comment back. And then second, on old posts that you've posted on before to show that you're on the platform. When you do that, they will push it out to more new accounts, and you're going to get wider audience reach. The next thing is to participate in online communities. This one I touched on before when we were talking about the groups, right? If you're part of a specific group for a neighborhood or, city, or let's say you really like to go hiking, so you join Facebook's group for Bay Area trails or something like that, where your people are, with your interests and stuff like that. If you're active in those communities, they're going to see you and they're going to gravitate towards you, right? So don't forget about your interests online. Find your tribe. Now, this is an activity. We're going to go ahead and we're going to post something on social media, guys. Okay, so we have about, about 35 minutes left of this Ignite. So right now we're going to take about a 15-minute break to post something on social media, okay? And this is going to be an open live workshop. So we're going to come up with an idea, and I want everybody to post something. Doesn't matter the platform, doesn't even really matter too much the content. It could be a screenshot of this and say, wow, this is the best Ignite class I've ever taken. Nick's such a great speaker. I'll let you guys choose what you want to do, but everybody has to make a post, and go ahead and in the chat, when you've done a post, let us know. If you want to brainstorm, we're going to leave this, like I said, open mic, so we can work through what your specific post is going to be. Okay? I hope it's really quiet because everybody's looking at their phone and they're saying, oh man, I'm going to post about that next listing that I just, signed this morning. Take off the screen share for a minute. There we go. Now, the reason why we're doing this post right now, like I said before, I don't want this class to be just another class where you go into it, you watch it, and then you don't walk away with the activities of what you're actually going to do. Instead, we're going to take that first step forward together, so it's a little bit less, scary or extreme doing it on your own, and we're going to make our first post about real estate. If you want to, it can even be that link that, Hilda mentioned about what's going on with SVB. You could post something from CNBC and then just write a quick comment or two about what you think is happening with this, why it happened, explain it to your audience, or say, hey, what do you guys think? Leave it an open-ended question so you have engagement. That's going to be the easiest one right there. I just gave you guys the ticket for what you can post, but I really want you guys to think about it as lead generation, right? If you do one post right now and somebody comments about it, and then you start the conversation about real estate, it's worth it. That's one piece of business just from doing a post. And trust me, it's happened to me many times where I'll do a post and it'll just be a random, short video. And then somebody comments on it, man, I wish I could buy a house in, the Bay Area. And then we start talking, we start getting them pre-qualified, all of that just from a comment. You never know when you post who's going to see it and where that might lead to, right? Now, because we're doing this open mic, we have 10 minutes to do our post. Let's talk about some of the questions that you guys are coming up, or some of the ideas that you're going to be posting right now. Let's see here. Here we go. Adrian, how about you, man? What are you thinking about posting?
Well, posting is one of the best places that you can actually generate leads. I mean, you can actually know being known to everyone around. They, as most they know you more, they're gonna actually trust you in the future.
And what are you thinking? Because we're doing the activity right now to take that first step, the plunge, as they say, and post on social media. So what are you thinking for your one post right now that you're going to put out there?
Well, I was thinking about posting a landing page for myself.
And do you have the landing page already created?
Yes, I already created. I did it in Facebook. I started doing tests. But it really worked. I mean, I got one lead.
There you go.
But it was pretty good.
This was paid Facebook marketing for this one?
Yes, it was.
So one thing that Adrian just mentioned that a lot of people don't know when you're doing Facebook marketing is if you post something on your business page, you can then take that post and you can run it through Facebook. What this allows you to do is you still capture the engagement on your actual page. So if somebody comes to the Facebook page, they'll see all of the views and comments that you're already paying for. Now, if you just go ahead and you run a Facebook ad, that's not going to automatically populate on your business page. So one of the best practices that I find, if you are going to actually pay for the marketing, make sure that you get to keep the results with the engagement. So people will see you as more of an authority and having, more reach rather than just paying for it and letting Facebook just make the post disappear somewhere. Now, I see in the chat as well that Warren is going to be posting about the open house he has this weekend. Is that going to be for the one by Cambrian, Warren? And you can go ahead and type it into the chat.
Oh, Cupertino.
Oh, for the Cupertino one. Yeah, that's a beautiful house. So right there, and Warren knows this because I actually hosted an open house for him. Whenever I do an open house, I always go there first and I take two types of videos. One is going to be a long form video for my YouTube channel that I do like a full tour. I talk about the house, and that goes straight out to the full database on the through command campaigns as well. And the second is I do a quick short walkthrough of the house where I show them the different features of it, just really quick for TikTok. The whole thing is just, it's me, I smile, I point to show them how many beds and bath, and then I just do like a quick less than 30-second walkthrough of the house. And those ones, man, they get like 3,000 views just like that, 4,000 views just like that. And it's because people want to see real estate. And if you provide that, for them, where it's, a quick little snippet, they like to engage with it. Yep. Thanks for Nick for hosting. He did awesome. More to learn from him. Thanks, Warren. Yeah, Warren knows because he came by the open house when I was doing the video. So he was there. He got to see how I do the whole setup for all of my my tours and things like that. But what I really want you guys to, when you're posting, even if you're just posting videos, you can have a whole bunch of fancy gear and things like that. It doesn't make too much of a difference to the consumer. What they want is they want that consistency. They want to see you guys post. Anybody else know what they're going to be doing for their post right now? either type it into the chat or just call it out. Or if you're stuck and you don't know what to post, let's go ahead and let's just sort of workshop it and go through with some potential ideas for you guys.
Okay, I'm a new agent. I don't have a listing to post yet, but like every weekend, if I do open house for other agent, I always post it like the postcard, like this is open house this Sunday at one time, and then after that, I take a video the day after. I want to post it on during weekend. I do that every weekend, and I feel that idea is so boring, right? Because I do like open house every weekend and I post about open house, nothing else. And then all of a sudden I feel so weird.
So that's actually a great point, right? It feels weird when you're being repetitive a lot of times in real estate. The open house videos, I assume they're going to be different open houses, correct? Different properties?
Of course.
Yeah, so if they're different properties, you don't have to worry about it too much, especially if you're relying on that 80%, 20%. So for the rest of the week, we're talking about doing one post a day, right? So for the rest of the week, you're posting about, you know, hey, I went to dinner at this place. This is an amazing restaurant. Check them out. Hey,
The problem is during the week I didn't do any posts. Only weekend I would, hey, I have open house, this house, and then after that I have a video of the house. That's it. I mean the house is beautiful, but yeah, that's all the activity that I have, and then I feel weird.
so what we need to work with you is really focusing on that 80% of the posting. So you are posting a little bit of the personal life too. If you're doing that balance, it's not going to feel weird to your sphere of influence because they're going to see most of your real life. And then, oh yeah, every weekend she's hosting an open house because.
And also, yeah, one of the thing it keep me back in like if I post it and then I don't got a lot of like or comment, then I feel weird too. Like
Yeah.
because normally me myself I don't want to post, okay? And now if because of this job it pushed me to post, and then I don't get a lot of like comment or like, and people don't care like why I post it, and I don't like to post it.
So here's the thing. In the beginning, nobody cares. That's the myth that I'm busting. Everybody is like, oh man, you know, somebody might comment, or they might not comment. In the beginning, when you're making content, nobody cares about you. It's the harsh reality, but it's the truth, right? Your friends and family might like a post here and there, but some of my best friends, when I started posting, they wouldn't like a single post. And they say, oh yeah, Nick, I saw it online. It was pretty good. I'm like, well, then why didn't you like or comment, right? You're going to find the people that your content is targeted for and who it connects with as you keep posting with that consistency and as you keep growing. If you have a very clear vision of where you want to go, not everybody around you is going to be able to see that vision. But as you're driving forward, they're going to come along for the ride, right? So when you're posting, if you don't get a like or a comment, that might not even be the worst thing, because remember, we're not trying to become influencers. We're trying to be real estate agents who are spreading the awareness about our real estate business, right? You only need one person to comment, hey, I want to write an offer. Or, hey, I was thinking about buying a home too. Can you help me? Oh, that looks pretty cool. Can you do the same for my home? Right? Some of the most, at Family Reunion, some of the most successful YouTube agents were around like 5,000 subscribers. Right? And they were making crazy amounts of money just from their YouTube channel. And the reason for that is it was very specific content to people who were relocating to their area that they were communicating with, and they found their niche, they found their tribe. So their content would attract the potential clients. Now, some of the views, they had like, 200 views on the videos or like 60 views on the videos. It didn't matter. The reason is it was the right people viewing it, the right people liking it, and the right people commenting on it, right? We're not going to be Justin Bieber or Selena Gomez. We're not going to be the #1 accounts in real estate, but we can still make money with social media if we treat it like lead generation and not just like everybody else is treating it right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's one thing I just want to tell you about the reality. When I see a post, like before I'm a real estate agent, I follow some real estate agent page, and if she posts something very fun, engage with real estate, and she got a lot of like and comment, then I feel like, oh, she's doing great in business. But if at a new agent, like if I post it and not much engagement, it also have another effect, not good affected. People gonna look at me like I'm not doing good in business, and I don't want to bring that image to them.
So I understand what you're saying, but let me ask you this. If right now you're here with your engagement levels and you're trying to get to here, it doesn't just happen overnight. You know, there's no class that you can take that automatically your next post is going to get, 15,000 views and a whole bunch of likes and stuff like that. Now, there's the chance that you can go viral, but chasing virality is not how you can build a business with social media. In actuality, when somebody sees a post with like a few likes and things like that, there's even features now that you can hide the likes on your posts. Right? So you can even take on Instagram, you can say, okay, you know what? I don't want it to describe how many likes that I'm getting, so nobody can see that it's not getting a lot of likes. You can do that. They can still like it and it just doesn't publicly show the amount of likes. Now, in my experience, if the content that you're providing has enough value, and if you're getting better and better, the likes will start to come. And if you look at any of those real estate agents that you follow, if you look at their first couple of posts and then compare them to the posts that they're making now, I guarantee you're going to see that hockey stick growth when they start to master posting, when they start to learn how to do the editing, when they learn how to be concise on camera. It's all going to be there, and they all started from somewhere. Now, right now, you're competing against those agents who are already doing it, right? And the longer that we take to get into the motion to actually start doing the posting, they're going to keep growing faster and faster. So if we want to be able to compete with those agents in 5 years, we need to start doing the work now so we can start getting on their level as soon as possible.
Right.
And
So I agree with you. So that's which means the thing I have to do is I have to find a value content to post, not to post randomly.
you have to find value content, and you have to be consistent. Consistent beats value on social media. One of the top people on social media is going to be Doja Cat, right, on TikTok, right? The singer, rapper Doja Cat. And she's said in the interviews that she just makes the worst videos that she can possible. Why? Because most of these new algorithms, if it's YouTube, it's very value-based. But if you're posting something just for the algorithm every single day, sometimes you'll post something where it's like a picture of food and it will get 10,000 likes like that. And then you'll spend 4 hours on creating content and it's going to get 6 views. The reality is it's a numbers game, just like making cold calls, right? So when I first got into real estate, I thought I had to be the best at every single client. I wanted to be the best at converting everybody. So no matter who talked to me, they were going to buy and sell with me, right? What I learned after doing, a few months of cold calls is the name of the game for conversion, and the same thing applies for social media with posting, is not being the best person for everyone, because you're never going to buy and sell with every single person out there who does a real estate transaction. The purpose is to quickly find the right people who are going to work with you. The same thing is for posting, right? The goal is not to have the best content out there. It might have been like that back in 2008, but now in 2023, the goal is to produce enough content that some of your content is going to do really well. Some of your content is going to do not so well, but if you keep posting it, you're going to get better as you go until you hit that point of consistently creating good content.
Okay.
And trust me, like this was a major aha for me, that it probably took me about 1 year to actually realize and to implement. Right. And, we're not all perfect. We're all still learning with social media. But the truth is, the faster that you post and the more that you post, the better you're going to get at identifying what that good content is. Because it's all about testing. Half of social media is looking at the fun stuff that you post and creating the content. The other half is going to the analytics and kind of like a CSI agent, you're trying to identify what went wrong and how you can do better next time so you engage with your audience, right? But if you don't post consistently, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they're going to limit it so much that you're never going to get a chance to find your audience to begin with. Does anybody else have any questions about posting? Because I think We're almost to the 15 mark, and we're going to get back to the class.
I don't necessarily have a question, but I'm hearing, is it Lena or struggle? You know, I take a different strategy. I'm much more about, and this is not about being mean, but I'm much more about exclusivity and being exclusive and being therefore selective with my content. I don't think social media is a driving factor for my selling clients. But I think the insights that I put on there, it may not be as, you know, I don't do 4 or 5 posts a day, but the ones that I do, I try to aim for really nailing what they care about. And so I manage about 2 community groups of Cupertino, Rancho Riconata, 95129, Saratoga neighbors. And from 200 over just 2 years ago, we are now at like 3,000. And it's just being about very selective content that's very niche and very local. So, you know, like for example, Warren and Nick, your guys' open house or your content for the open house in Cupertino be totally relevant to my audience, my groups that we manage. And so, you know, that's something that like would really tick up the kind of the comments and the activities. So, you know, I think it's about what kind of strategy you want to take with your social media and making sure you're nailing it on the head. So the algorithm picks up your engagement. So not just posting anything and everything. That's just a different strategy, but just something to propose a different approach.
I appreciate that, Coco. And I think this is one of the things that we're going to go over today is there's lots of different roads and strategies that you can do to achieve high results. Now, what Coco was saying was one of the things that I mentioned about being a local expert and not posting about everything for the whole Bay Area, like Cupertino, Saratoga, managing those groups. If they're in their groups, they're in there for a reason, right? They don't want to see a post about Milpitas if they're living in Saratoga. They want something that's relevant for them and that has that value for them. So I think that's spot on. You want to understand your audience and you want to give your audience what they want and what they need, or they're going to go somewhere else. And I think the growth speaks for itself as well, that if you start delivering your audience what they want, then you're going to be able to grow at a much faster level. Now, what I was mentioning about posting every day and doing consistent posts, I'm not doing 5 posts a day either. But if we're talking about doing 1 post a day versus doing 1 post a week, I think you can probably see the value for the algorithm if you're being consistent on social media. And that's the thing we're really looking for, is to try to make it into a habit and not something that we do one really great post and then we don't go back to the post. So then we have to start learning all over again. Now, Coco, how much do you usually post in the groups? Is it once a day, once a week, once a month? What's your time frame that you usually post most?
Hi, forgot to unmute myself. In my 2,000 member group, that's cross Cupertino. I just do, it's pretty self-sustaining now. In the beginning, I would do maybe like a weekly, but now I do every other week, if that. And then for my my social specifically, I do like once every 2 weeks. Again, you know, it's about well, not okay, that's not true. I do it like in spurts. So I'll do like 5 in a week, and then I'll just kind of see where that settles, and then I'll do another 5 the following week. So it's kind of I don't know what the average is.
Okay, so 5 a week, 5 a week. For the group, I see the value with the group is that you are targeting a very specific clientele and niche audience. So you know what the posts are going to be for that. Again, there's lots of different ways to do the different posts, guys. If I were Coco, I think for the group, once it's self-sustaining, that's perfect, right? You don't have to worry about it. That's what we're looking for when we're building Facebook groups. If you're posting something from your business, and let's say that you do like a podcast or something like that, you do want to have that consistency. Now, it sounds like it's different content, and that's the beauty of social media, is that there's so many different things that you can build and so many paths that you can take to still get amazing results, that there's no one correct way to do it. It's just important that you are doing it. So we're we're down to 10:20, so I'm going to go ahead and get back to the actual class.
Nick, I'm gonna make one comment that might be helpful to Sarah, because Sarah, I see where her concerns are, and that's just, a mindset thing, Sarah, for yourself. I wouldn't worry about it. You post content. First, I would start off, if it helps you feel better, is take a look at the people you're connected with right now. You know who your friends are, your true friends are, and your true friends at the end of the day are going to be the ones that are going to refer you the most. So you want to gain confidence with them, let them know that you're in the real estate business, but you can really get your own tribe going by posting information that you think would be enjoyable by them and would be perhaps even shared by them. So if your friends like to go out to eat, then it's okay to post about dining. You can then also maybe create a story about that. There's one agent, his name is Franco Perez, and he creates some incredible videos, and he goes to restaurants, and then he says, he drives through a neighborhood and shows a few of the houses in that area. And then he'd say, if you lived here, you could walk to that great restaurant. I mean, he sneaks things in so subtly that you don't even know they're happening. And that's more an advanced level, but just start trying to connect with the people that you're connected with now, and then that will grow organically. The more frequently you post, the more proficient you come with your content and so forth. But don't hesitate posting anything, because you're not driving the engagement in the beginning. Sometimes people will just want to read your materials, and sometimes you can be a really seasoned professional on there and people still won't like it. They'll just read it, and then you'd be surprised how many direct messages you'll receive, or people who will just call you and say, hey, I was finally catching up on my reading, and I saw something that you posted, and that's why I'm calling you. So don't let the likes dissuade you. The likes only help the algorithm a minor amount.
And what I think Hilda's saying as well is, for this social media class, like, although there's a whole bunch of different strategies that we can use, like groups and things like that, this is more geared towards what you should do with your personal profile and how to connect with your sphere of influence through social media, right? So if you're connecting with your sphere, these are people who already know, trust, like you, closer friends and family. It's okay to do more personal stuff, and they're going to be a little bit more forgiving when you're doing the personal posts and things like that than if you were going out to try to achieve new clients. You might want to be a little bit more niched in there, right? And that brings us into this next strategy with being authentic. People can tell when you're putting on some sort of social media personality, right? As much as we try to sort of mirror what we think works on social media, they want to get to know the real you. And that comes across through camera. If you're being disingenuous and fake, it comes across, right? They want to build that parasocial connection. So when you do the video, just be yourself. Don't overthink it. 2, don't be a jack of all trades. For this, it's really focus in on a platform that works for you. Build on that platform, and then try to tackle the other platforms instead of doing everything at once and then hoping that one of them is going to take off. If you put 100% of your effort into one thing, you can grow it much faster, right? It's fear of 50-foot hole, not 51-foot holes. The next one is going to be embrace video. It's better for the algorithm. It's better for engagement. It's just better in general. 4, use analytics to optimize your posts. This is basically, you can learn what your audience is doing when they engage with things, and you can get around with that strategy. Like, you want to post at the time that your audience is actually online, so they see your post. That's something good to learn. Or you can even learn from your mistakes. Like I said, if something doesn't do too well, you can say, hey, maybe I should have taken this part out. Maybe I should have changed this. They seem to really engage with this, hook over here. Let me try to do that again, right? And then 5, don't be afraid to ask for help from other agents in the office or somebody who you see even, like on Instagram or Facebook. If they're doing something at a very high level, it never hurts to ask them. A lot of social media creators will share some of the tips and tricks that they're using. So this again is just going to be the recap of the 10-5-1 model. Some of the things that you can post about, how much you should post. It's going to be business, how much should be personal, and then some of the better strategies to use when you are doing those social media posts. That's pretty much going to finalize our training portion of today. Let's go ahead and just do a send off with the ahas for the class as a whole. If you guys have any ahas, go ahead and either say them in the chat or just go ahead and call them out.
I want to know who Tim is. I looked him up, but I don't know. I don't think he's present in my market. So I'd love to find out who he is. That's my aha.
So Timothy Chow does like a lot of loans and stuff as well. It's not so much just real estate. They do have a real estate team, but they're going to be one of the top teams that we have over here at this office. I don't think that you, Lena, do you guys have like a localized farm, or do you more just do all over the Bay Area? Is she still on the chat with us?
I think she's off. But you mean your office, you are Santa Clara, or you're Silicon City or something?
Yes, we're over more towards Milpitas is where we're based.
Okay, maybe that's why, because I don't really focus on Milpitas. Okay, thank you.
Coco, I love your model and I love the fact that you're creating groups. That's fantastic. That's a great strategy that was created, gosh, probably dating more than 10 years ago, but I think it's one of the really strong stakeholders in social media. If you want to look at an excellent real estate agent in terms of examples in social media, who's created a brand, a group, I think her groups, I haven't checked it. My guess is probably over 10,000. But Nicole Nicolay, she runs Love Livermore. That's her brand. And I have to disclose, she's a friend of mine, and her husband is the director of marketing for RPR, Realtors Property Resource. So he helps her a lot on the back end. But she's created an amazing website, brand and following for Livermore, and created a great group where she networks with the vendors, and she does personal interviews on video, and then she gets them to donate prizes, and they go on Instagram and do the whole thing. That's something you might be interested in terms of how to leverage your members in your group.
Great. No, thank you so much. I'd love to look her up and maybe reach out to you afterwards. I think I wanted to kind of share the ultra secret, the reason why I have created all these groups. You know, it starts from the fact that I love my hometown of Cupertino. And I don't know if everybody's met me yet, but I joined real estate. I got my license specifically, even though I've been in the industry as a background player in my family for a while, because I saw how real estate was going to be the fastest lever to getting a town that I want my kids to grow up in. So my neighbors sense that. My elderly neighbors that are getting too old to maintain the community groups, they sense that. You know, they know that I'm coming from a place of authenticity and truly caring about our community. And, you know,
I can hear it in your voice. You get excited when you talk about Cupertino. And so that is what is, your transparency comes through in your voice. It's very sincere. I can tell in a second. I only heard you mention a few things, but you don't speak with that type of clarity unless you are very sincere and passionate. And you should always come from
well, and I should also
and that's what. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I do want to clarify, if you are looking me up in the office, my name is Carol Ma. There's not many MAAs, but my Zoom profile, for some reason, I can't change it so that people can readily find me. But yes, Hilda, that's authentically the reason why I'm doing it all. And, you know, I'm not coming into real estate because I want to make $1 million GCI. That's actually not my goal. My goal is to serve Cupertino, Sunnyvale, 95129, San Jose, Saratoga, Campbell. That's it. So, because I care about those communities. But anyway,
that's awesome. You're going to love Livermore. I love that model. It's amazing.
Sounds good. Well, thank
And
you for
it
letting me
took-
share my secret.
It's fantastic. No, and it's true and it's authentic, and I really appreciate and respect that. Love Livermore brand took many years to create, by the way. She tested, lots of different things until she really connected her passion with her mission, vision, and brand. Or mission and vision, she couldn't create the brand. And once she connected those things, and I think that's what you've done. So now you just need to brand it the way she has. You could easily be the next MREA agent.
Okay, well, on that, I think we're gonna go ahead and close it off. Thank you for sharing, Carol, not Coco, if you guys are looking her up in the office. Thank you for being here and participating today, guys. Again, this is just a little snippet on what to do with social media, but if you really want to implement it and really want it to grow, you're gonna have to do more work besides just this class, but hopefully you did your one post and we are off to a great start for you guys using social media as a valuable lead generation source. Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Nick.